one stop, family shop. Think Thayer, come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
Games that you had, what was your goal? What were you guys shooting for to do there?
I mean, 4-0 is going to be the goal for us every time, no matter who you put in front of us. Obviously, it was a tough schedule, and to come out 2-2, Coach kind of said it in the team meeting. It is what it is. We'd like to be 3-1. We'd like to be 4-0, but we're not 0-4. We're not 1-3. So it is what it is, and it was a tough 4 games, but now we're ready for MAC play.
Is there an emotion that you would attach to it? Like, we're excited that we're 2-2, we're really upset? I mean, what emotion would you attach to it?
I wouldn't necessarily say we're excited. The Memphis game, I feel like we kind of let get away from us. So, I don't really know, because I wouldn't say we're disappointed, because, going into last week, we had a potential to be 1-3, but to come out with a victory, gets us to 2-2. So, I'm not really sure exactly what to call it, but, I guess it just is what it is at 2-2.
And what's been the biggest advantage that you take as a group, as a unit, as a team?
We've showed on film, and we've proved to ourselves that, we play up with Power 5 conferences, and, our defense can get stops. They can force turnovers. The offense, we can put up points. We can move the ball. We've showed the ability to score quickly. We've also showed the ability to go 10 or more plays on a touchdown drive and cap it off with, a power run. We don't just have to throw the ball for, a 90-yard touchdown. So I think we've put a lot of good things on film, and we've been able to prove to ourselves that, playing up in competition, we can still do the same things that, we want to do in the MAC.
Do you fear any letdown then that you're no longer playing Power 5?
No, not at all. We have a very veteran group, and, we're going to be able to push all the young guys along with us and make sure that there is no letdown, because, that's the first half of the season. It's behind us, but, our goal is to get to Detroit, and it starts Saturday.
Along those same lines, to beat 2 Big Ten teams in the same season, what's that mean for you and where this program is at this point?
It means a lot. I don't know if it's been done before, but it really does mean a lot for the program to show that, where we started when, us redshirt seniors got here to where we are now. We've come a long way, and to have 2 wins against Big Ten schools, it means a lot to us, and it's something that we're going to remember for a long time.
For you, 207 pass attempts, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, obviously a strong start for you. How are you feeling after these first 4 games heading into the conference?
I'm feeling really good. I have a lot of faith in the coaches and the position that they've put me in, and the position that they're putting all the offensive skill in. They're allowing me to do what I do best, and it's been working out for us so far. And my body feels good. My mentally I feel good too, and just trying to carry it over into MAC play now.
Do you feel like the offense is where it needs to be at this point in the season?
I think we have a good foundation so far, but there's still a drive or two during the game where we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot. We've been talking about it for the first 4 weeks that there's going to come a time where we're going to need to be perfect in a game, and once we prove to ourselves that we can do that, that's going to need to be the standard. And last week, my interception, the high snap, really if we don't have those two things happen, we could have had 35 points on the board right away. And, that's what we're aiming for, to be perfect on offense so that we can give our defense room and really put pressure on the other team's offense.
How have you figured this thing out so quickly? Because coming off injuries, obviously it's difficult. How have you figured it out and not only done that, but had so much success?
Well, I mean, it was all mental last year for me. I had no choice. I couldn't do anything physical. I had to, use my head, and I really had to understand why things were being done the way that they were. And I feel like I grasped it quickly last year mentally, and then, going through the spring, it was just getting my body caught up to, my head. So it's been I've been lucky enough to move as quickly as I have, but I also have a lot of guys on the team making me look good, so that helps as well.
Did you feel rusty at all Saturday?
A little bit. I mean, I definitely thought that out of the four, this was my worst game, but I thought I did some good things. I thought I brought my feet into it, which really helped move the sticks in some key situations. But there were a couple throws that got away from me. Obviously, the interception just sailed on me. So there was some rust to that game, but I still feel good about where I'm at.
What's it say about the team, the offense? You can be quote unquote rusty and still have the kind of numbers you had and still get a win and stuff.
I mean, I think it shows how dangerous we are. Get the ball in our playmakers' hands, just on a simple hitch, we can turn it into a big play. Or, if we get the right coverage, we can go up top on defenses. We've showed that. And, we were really able to get the running game going last week a little bit. So, I think it shows that we can be very dangerous, and, we're only going to get stronger, and, we're just building off the momentum that we created for these first four games.
Coach mentioned one of his goals in the non-conference schedule was not get you hurt. Do you feel like you guys did anything differently, or did you have to play a certain way to stay healthy?
I don't think so, because, we still called all of our, zone concepts. They still asked me to run the ball. I don't think we really did anything different that, we're going to be doing in MAC play. There was a big emphasis on, me sliding this year and, not taking unnecessary hits. And, I thought I did a good job of that, protecting myself, throwing the ball away, not, forcing things, not taking hits from, D linemen if I don't have to. So, I think the playbook was 100% open to us, and, I don't see it being any different heading into MAC play.
Speaking of going into MAC play, does the vibe around the building change at all, just knowing it's kind of a new season starting this week?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a new vibe, because we still, the mindset that we had for the first four games, we still have to have that mindset going into MAC play. Obviously, like you said, it's a new chapter. The first four games are behind us, and we come out 2-2. It is what it is. But now, the MAC play begins, and it's almost like a fresh slate. We're coming off of a good win, so we want to carry that momentum, into MAC play, and we start off with a good opponent with Buffalo on Saturday.
You had 5 offensive linemen come back from last year, and yet Ryan Hunter found a way to break into that lineup. In your eyes, what was it that allowed Hunter to break into the starting?
Well, I mean, he didn't start last year, but he did play a good amount. He was also in last year on our goal line packages as a fullback. So the coaching staff found a way to get him on the field, And, you know, him and Ben had a competition, you know, going in the spring, carried over into camp. And, you know, he's made a lot of strides as far as understanding the offense. He is one of those guys that lost a lot of weight so that he could get on the field. You know, I think Coach said it was like 150 pounds between the 5 of them. And, you know, he was a big contributor to that, getting in shape so that he could play. So I think all those things, you know, were the reason why he got the nod.